Hey guys, it's me, Mr.250, and welcome back to Memories Dogma Code 1. So, we left off last time with finding out that Aoi was probably the bad guy, or at least was not the friend that we thought she was. And, what was it, the sharp man, Sigma? He died. Right, I remember that too. And I think we got knocked out, because I'm assuming this is us waking up. So, let's go ahead and see where we're at. The irregular vibrations I keep feeling on my back eventually jerk me back to consciousness. When I open my eyes, I see a sterile ceiling, illuminated in a ghastly light. It looks like the ceiling is steadily sliding backwards. It's like creepy chain noises. While watching the ceiling fly by, my consciousness slowly starts to become clearer. A strange feeling on the back of my head gradually grows stronger. Oh yeah, I was hit there. What happened after that? Since all I can see is the dimly lit ceiling, illuminated by green light, I have no way of telling what time it is. Hell, I don't even know where I am. I've been hearing the sounds of footsteps and wheels rolling across the ground ever since I woke up. I try to look around to find the source of the noise, and discover I can't move my body from my neck down. Oh, is this the Connect Center? I move my head around to see what I can, and I notice a couple of men in white lab coats walking beside me. They've all got their hands out, grabbing something close to me, and are all silently just looking in the direction we're heading. It's like I'm in a hospital being rolled somewhere in a stretcher by these men. Now I understand what that vibration I'm feeling is. It's not that the ceiling's moving. I'm the one that's being moved. Past the men are a number of doors going on endlessly along the hallway. The ceiling and the layout of the doors is giving me a sense of deja vu. Wait, this is the Connect Center. Ah, good, we didn't have to draw a new background. That was close. My mind goes back to the first time I came here, when I came to visit Serrano. Those blinking lights that used to illuminate the hallway like stars are gone, replaced by a ghastly green light that leaves much of the hallway shrouded in darkness. My body starts to tremble. Well, what's this red light I'm looking at? I try to move my arm again, but it's still pinned down. I lift my neck up a little and see that my arms, wrists, ankles, and torso are all strapped down by black belts. My freedom of movement has been completely restricted.
Oi, どこに行こうとしてるんだ?
The men don't even glance my way, and continue silently rolling the stretcher along. My voice comes out hoarse and raspy. Even then, I try and shout as loudly as possible.
答えろよ!
But no one so much as blinks. My voice echoes down the hallway, eventually fading and leaving only the noise of footsteps and wheels remaining.
くそ.
I try and remember what happened before I passed out. Was that really Aoi-san I saw holding a gun with trembling hands? No, there's no mistaking that it was her, but I still can't believe this is all real. Where's Reina? Did she manage to run away while they were busy with me? Or did she also...
レーナはどこだ?
The man in white lab coat says nothing. As usual, they don't respond. Eventually, the stretcher I'm on finally stops. When I look over, I see that we've stopped before a huge door. The two guys in front open the door. It lets out a generic door squeak sound, a heavy, deep creaking noise as it opens. The opening looks like the gaping maw of a terrible monster, or a portal to another world. Once the door opens fully, the stretcher starts moving again. Past the doorway is... From the looks of it, some kind of laboratory. The large light fixture in the center of the ceiling makes it look more like a hospital room than a lab, though. Oh no, we're gonna get dissected. There's nothing directly beneath the light except for the cold, hard floor. Well, I guess I should say nothing directly beneath it right now. Traces of red liquid stain the floor, as if marking the entrance to some bottomless swamp. And then... The men roll my stretcher there, directly underneath the light. There's a massive metal ventilator in the corner of the room. The ventilator's giving off a metallic whir, and I can feel air flowing from it. The men in white lab coats who brought me here all gather around me and stare at me emotionlessly. Did they take Rana to a room like this too?
レーナはどこだ?
Their expressions don't change, and their mouths remain shut. I feel an indescribable sense of dread and ask again, louder this time.
答えろよ、お前ら! レーナに何かしたんじゃないだろうな!
楠原君、少し落ち着きなさい。
I recognize that voice. It's the voice I heard while on the way to see Serrano in the Connect Center. I've seen his face before too, on the news answering the press's questions. Oh, it's that guy, the one who really hates us. Kuroda Rinjuro? The contraption I'm strapped down on starts to raise itself up and puts my upper body into a sitting position. There's a huge AR display with Kuroda on it right in front of me.
あんたが黒田だな。
He's sitting on an armchair with his legs crossed, a faint smile on his face.
いやあ、楠原弘樹君。言っただろう。どこにいようとも必ず見つけてみせると。ようやく君と対面することができて嬉しいよ。
対面だと。こんな AR ディスプレイ越しでか。
ここからでも十分君のことは見えるからね。
Kuroda uncrosses his legs and leans forward. Unable to hide his glee, the corners of his lips curl upward slightly. He's examining me like you would a prize. That glint in his eyes is the one he had when he told the news to capture me. So this is what this is the man known as Kuroda is really like.
レーナはどうした?
先ほども言っただろう。落ち着きなさいと。そんなに慌てなくとも、いずれ折笠君とは会わせてあげよ
う。So that means Kuroda managed to capture her too. He said he'd let me see her, but that doesn't mean she's still alive. He didn't say you'll get to see her alive. Well, I mean, does anyone normally, like, when they're like, oh, don't worry, you'll see them later, like, you'll see them alive later, like, what does that mean? I don't know. I would kind of understand him not saying you'll get to see her alive. Don't tell me Reina's already dead. The mere thought chills me to the bone.
レーナに何かしたら、あんたを殺す。
It's pretty bold of you there. Trying to shake off my unease, I threatened Kuroda. Depending on how he answers, I might be able to glean some information on whether or not Rain is safe. However, Kuroda doesn't seem fazed by my threat at all.
いいぞその威勢。やはりこうでなくてはな。
Kuroda leans back in his chair and smiles as he crosses his legs once more. I get even more annoyed seeing how smug he looks right now. If I can just get these belts off.
くそ そ
Yep, I'm sure all those lab coat scientist men will let you take them all off. I desperately struggle against my restraints, but they don't budge an inch. Yeah, we tied him down real good. Because, we thought you might try to escape. I try and clearly imagine the sensation of power gathering within my body. If I can just use my power, then I... However, no matter how hard I struggle, I can't even bring forth an ounce of that power. The stretcher thing that I'm on just rattles loudly as it shakes. Oh, that was pretty embarrassing there. You gonna try that again? Kuroda looks at me pityingly through the AR display.
安心しなさい。君は保護され、我々の手によってコントロールされているのだ。
保護だと？これのどこが？拘束の間違いだろ。
ある意味では、我々はずっと君を拘束していたとも言える。
どういうことだ？
考えてもみたまえ、楠原君。
Kuroda closes his eyes for a moment, looking amazed that I actually haven't figured it out yet. I know he's just trying to provoke me, but every single thing he does irks me to no end.
コネクトセンターで水無空野くんの記憶データを持ち出そうとしたあの日、君と織笠くんは自力で脱出したと思っているようだが、厳重なセキュリティに守られたこの施設からそんな簡単に出られると思っていたのか。プロの警備の追跡から簡単に逃げおせるとでも？
Yeah, truthfully, they should have had visual facial recognition on us. And probably, even though we turned off our GPS, there still had to be some form of, telemetry, some form of triangulation that they could have done. Because we were still able to, access their servers. So they should have at least been able to tell based off, whatever we are connected with. I don't know what that service is in the future, but they should have been able to figure out a vague idea of where we were.
爆発直後の府中駅の前であれと初めて遭遇したとき、なぜ君たちは助かった？空野くんの家が襲撃されたとき、なぜ君たちだけ撃たれなかった？
At Kuroda's words, something finally clicks in my head. All of these desperate phenomenon start connecting themselves in my mind, leading me to a single conclusion. He was behind the whole thing. My whole body starts to tremble, and my heart starts to beat faster. Seeing me finally connect the dots, Kuroda smiles smugly again.
そう、ずっと観察していたのだよ。君が空野くんの記憶データを持ち出そうとしたその瞬間からね。君のお友達の確か雨宮くんだったかな。君と雨宮くんはあの談話室から逃げた後、すぐに取り押さえられるはずだったんだ。だが思わぬタイミングで織笠くんが君の前に現れた。面白いよな。当初は織笠くんだけが観察の対象だったのだ。あれが府中駅で君たちの前に現れたのは、彼女にあのマイクロチップを自分に使わせるためだったんだよ。だから君はあれにすぐ殺された。織笠くんを追い詰める必要があったからな。
Good plan. I recall the events of that night. Back then, Sigma tried to kill me without any hesitation. The sensation of his blade piercing my stomach is still fresh in my mind. The taste of blood filling my mouth. And then my consciousness growing dim.
それがどうだい。なんと彼女は君にマイクロチップを使ったんだ。信じられるかい？あの状況下でなお他人の体を使って効果を確かめようとしたんだ。どこまでも研究熱心なその姿勢に私は思わず感心してしまったよ。さすがは東也くんの肝入りというわけだ。
黙れ！レーナはそんなつもりで俺にマイクロチップを使ったわけじゃない！
Kuroda's face suddenly goes blank, and he asks in a low voice,
どうしてそんなことがわかる？
"'Cause she's my friend."
どうしてって。だって、そんなわけは。
君は人の心が読めるのか？あの瞬間の折笠くんの心を読んだというのかね。
It's true that I never asked Reina what she was thinking back when she put that chip in me. But even then...
確かに、人の心なんて俺にはわからない。でもわからないからこそ、俺は信じてるんだ。
That doesn't make any sense. Serrano chose to believe in me. And so I'll choose to believe Reina. After hearing my reply, Kuroda seems to lose interest in the topic.
そうか。まあ君が何を信じるかは自由だ。ともあれ、君は折笠くんのマイクロチップによって特殊な能力を発現させるに至った。瞬間的に尋常ならざる身体能力を発揮し、さらに自らを治癒させる能力まで有している。君のその能力がどの程度の威力を持ち、そしてどんな発展性があるのか。だから君を観察することにした。
シグマと殺し合いをさせたのもお前の差し金か？
ああ、あれはちょっと行動が目立ちすぎるところがあったが、自分の役割というものはよく熟知していたよ。君の能力の発揮状態をコントロールしながら戦っていた。まあ最後は彼も我慢できなかったようだがね。
Even that fight I put my life on the line for was all orchestrated by Kuroda. And this man is the kind of scum who'd call it his own ally it and treat him like a pawn. I grit my teeth.
何しろ折笠くんのマイクロチップはまだ人体実験を行えてなかったからね。その上大事なマイクロチップを持ち出して逃げたときたもんだ。どうやって折笠くんにマイクロチップを使わせてやろうかと考えていたところへ、君がちょうどよく現れてくれた。正直言って興奮したよ。困難な状況を次々に与え追い込んでいくたびに、君は次々と自分の限界の向こう側へと進んでくれた。結果的に君と折笠くんはその身を挺して我々に貴重な研究データをもたらしてくれたというわけだ。ただ環境の整備が必要だと思ってね。君のお友達のそう雨宮くんだ。彼には悪いことをしてしまった。
あれもあんたの命令か？
おかげで極めて興味深いデータが取れたよ。
So the fact that Kakeru was shot and gravely injured wasn't a coincidence either. Everything was planned by the man sitting in front of me.
くそー！
My anger causes my blood to start boiling. I let my anger take control and struggle again with all my might.
くそー！ くそー！
I struggle against my restraints with all my might. If I can get them to loosen up just a bit, if I can get even just one of them to snap. However, even that faint hope is crushed. Eventually, I expend all my energy and stop struggling. Wow, that was kind of pathetic. I examined the belts holding me down again. Not a single one is budged.
どうして
Why won't my power come out? If I can't use it now when I need it most, what's the point of having it at all?
なんでだよ
The reason we were able to escape our pursuers, the reason we were able to beat Sigma, was all because Reina, Kakeru, and everyone else racked their brains and worked together to find a solution. Or at least that's what I'd believed until just now.
まあまあ、楠原君。そんなに落ち込む必
Do
要
they
は
have
ない
like some kind of remote switch in it and they were the ones activating it?
君のように特殊な能力が発現したものを我々は発現者と呼んでいるが、安心しなさい。私は発現者を大切にする主義だ。君のことも悪いようにはしない。
こんな風に拘束してみんなを傷つけておいて何を今さら大切にするって言うんだ。
まあ待て、最後まで私の話を聞きなさい。もし君が私に賛同してくれるのなら、即座に君の拘束を解こうじゃないか。
そんな見えすいた嘘を信じるとでも思ってるのか。
I feel like an idiot for even retorting to such a stupid comment.
君もここ数日経験して感じたと思うが、他人と大きく違う性質を持っている人間は生きづらいものだ。
Kuroda erases all feeling from his expression.
例えば、君はまだ子育ての経験はないだろうが、子供の発達には年齢ごとに様々な基準が決められ、そこからはみ出してしまうとある種の障害という烙印をいやおうなしに押される。そしてはみ出した部分をより平らにして通常の範囲に近づけるように仕向けられる。療育という名を借りてね。本人が苦しむから暮らしやすいように療育してやるんだと親や周りの大人たちは言う。でも本当にそうか。それより先に自分たちが扱いやすくするためなんじゃないのか。障害は個性なんて耳障りのいいことを言いながら、それを認めて伸ばしてやろうという気など初めから持ち合わせていないんじゃないか。そして得てしてそのような親は子供のはみ出した部分がちっとも平らにならないと言い勝手に苦しむ。
Are you going anywhere with this?
挙句の果てには思い詰めて自ら死を選んでしまう者までもいる。そんなことが起きてしまうのは本当にバカらしい。
It's only as he mutters those last words that Kuroda's expression changes to one of deep sadness. However, that expression vanishes an instant later, replaced by his usual mocking smile.
通常という物差しから少しはみ出したところでこれだ。君のように常人をはるかに凌駕する能力を発揮できる人間ならどうなる。意図せず周囲の人間を巻き込んでしまい、天津さえ傷つけてしまうこともある。そうだろ。
それはお前が俺たちをそういう状況に追い込んだだけだ。
Kuroda smiles a little.
果たしてそうかな。君が発言者になった時点で私が一切の手心を加えなかったとしても、いつか周囲の人間は君を差別し迫害しただろう。
何を根拠に。
なぜなら理解できないからだ。人間は理解できないものを強く恐れる。
理解できない。
初めて君が力を行使したとき、君の友人は手放しで受け入れてくれたかね。
I think back to the first time I fought Sigma. What was Reina's expression like right after I defeated him?
ひろき、
I hear Reina's voice from right behind me and I turn around. For some reason, she's looking at me in fear. So that was what that fear had been. The fear of the unknown.
君の大切だった女の子、空野くんはどうかな？
Sorry, she's my dead girlfriend. I have a new girlfriend and her name's Reina.
彼女は何不自由なく生きていたかね？何一つ隠し事をせずに君と接していたか？
Oh no, flashbacks.
空野さんは力のことを誰にも知られないようにかなり気を配られていたようです。できればずっと言いたくなかった。
Serrano was afraid to get close to people and suffered as a result of it. Even on the day of her death, she still didn't tell me about her power. Seeing how I'm unable to reply, Kuroda nods sympathetically.
我々が君の行動をコントロールしていたのは確かに研究データを得るためでもあった。だが、それ以上にね。
理解だと。
そうだ。力を持つ者の苦しみ。そして友人だと思っていた人間に差別される恐怖と悲しみを。
Kuroda raises his voice at the end and tightly grips his hands together. Kuroda had been calm this whole time, but now there's a fire in his voice.
特定の遺伝子が発現しているかしていないか、発現者とそうでないものを区別する境界線はそれだけだ。それだけのことで人目を避け、白昼のもとに出ることを恐れ、大切な人に自らの苦悩を打ち明けることもできない。
I'm not sure if Kuroda realizes it or not, but his hands are trembling now.
なぜだ？同じ人間なのに、なぜそのような苦しみを抱えなければならない？君には答えられるのか
Kuroda's words are filled with a deep, intense hatred. Though where that hatred is directed, I can't tell. His hatred is so thick it's dripping from his every word. I can tell a deep darkness has been festering within him, even through the AR display. I don't have an answer for Kuroda. Kuroda sits there silently, his shoulders heaving. After he finally regains his composure, he continues.
君にはまだ答えられないだろう。だが君は理解したはずだ。ここまで君が体験してきたことのすべて、それこそが事実なんだよ。今の社会では発言者は差別され、迫害され、そして苦悩の果てで絶望の底に沈んでいくしかない。
For an instant, Kuroda's sorrowful expression returns.
そんな社会はおかしいとは思わないかね。私はね、君のような発言者が世の中を堂々と生きていける。
That sounds pretty reasonable. Kuroda's expression is almost terrifyingly kind now.
そのために、まず私がこの社会の上に立ち、支配してやる必要があると考えたのだ。
支配だと。
おっと、勘違いしないでくれよ。私は何も能力を悪用したりして、武力や恐怖で世界を支配しようだなんて思っちゃいない。武力や恐怖による支配だなんて、そんな古臭いやり方、長くは続かない。そんなことくらい、君くらいの年齢であれば感覚的にわかるだろう。
You say that as if you yourself are actually intelligent. Well, I'm sure Kuroda at least thinks that he is.
あんたのように人を見下してるような奴を信用する人間なんかいない。
いいところに気づいたね。そう、大事なのは信用なんだ。
Kuroda wags his index finger at me, acting like a college professor trying to teach a class.
社会的な評価を操作するには大衆の世論を動かす必要がある。そのためには社会的な信用というのは重要な要素だ。強い発言権がないと世論を動かすような主張をすることはできないからね。私ども日本コネクト機構、通称 JCO は文部科学省所管の独立行政法人として2027年に発足し、2029年にここ東京コネクトセンターをオープンしました。
Kuroda says the same words I heard when I first came to the Connect Center and watched that video while on my way to the lounge where I talked with Serrano.
国が認める法人なのだよ、ここは。そしてそのトップが私だ。これ以上信用できる要素はあるまい。
そんなもの告発してやる。
I am the authorities. Kuroda just sneers condescendingly at me.
そうかね。君は確かコネクトセンターへの不正アクセス事件と駅の爆破事件の容疑者として指名手配されてるそうじゃないか。だとしたら妙だな。もし君が本当に無実なのであれば、どうしてすぐに警察に行かなかったのだろうね。
That video they took is a forgery, but the fact that we illegally accessed the Connect Center data is true. He's saying that because he already knows that. Kuroda's even made use of the fact that Kakeru and I were able to escape from the Connect Center that day.
黙れ!
Oh, even though I know all that, I can't stop my anger from spilling over and lashing out at Kuroda.